My friends, they are trying to mess with the F-15. We need to check this one out. But before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. If you subscribe, well, you already know, you make my day. Another thing, nowadays you can also hype a video. Helps a lot, please do it. Link for the original one below. Let's go.
Two Russian Su-30SMs just scrambled out of Kaliningrad to intercept a single American F-15C over the Baltic Sea.
Wait, my friends, this is not fair. 2 versus 1. Is the F-15 good enough to pull this one off?
To intercept a single American F-15C over the Baltic Sea. 2 on 1. The flight lead checks his wingman.
Bad
Tight,
start.
professional, good. He checks the American, straight and level, just a lone eagle cruising along the Lithuanian border like he is picking up dry cleaning. The flight...
A lone eagle. Okay, a lone bald eagle.
Lead keys his radio to Kaliningrad ground control. 1 contact, no support, engaging intercept. The American pilot hears this. He was not expecting to, but he does not change course. June 2026.
Not afraid at all.
The Baltic Sea. NATO runs air policing missions along the Russian border. And today, one
Actually, my friends, I'm gonna put this one here. You guys will not even notice this one. Please don't leave NATO. Please. I'm just... no?
In 1976. It has been flying longer than most of its pilots have been alive. It does not sneak. It does not...
Wait, we have to go back. How old is this one? Sorry?
Air policing missions along the Russian border, and today, one F-15C is holding the line alone. The F-15 Eagle first entered service in 1976. It has been...
What? Is that old? Oh, wow, but it's still an amazing jet.
Flying longer than most of its pilots have been alive. It does not sneak. It does not hide. What the F-15C does is fight. No pilot...
How good is the F-15, my friends? How good? From 0 to 10.
It does not sneak. It does not hide.
Pay attention.
What the F-15C does is fight. No pilot has ever been shot down in one. Not in any war, not by any nation, not once. That is not a win-loss ratio. That is a restraining order. But today, there is only one of them. And there are 2 of the other things.
Yeah, this is looking bad.
The Su-30SM is Russia's frontline multi-role fighter. Twin engines, canards on the nose that let it do things in a dogfight most aircraft cannot do in a video game. Russia puts it in every...
You know what? Is this one better than the F-15? Because, I mean, the F-15 is not the top jet in the US military, right? The F-22 or the F-35 are much better, from what I understand. So maybe this one can... Oh, man, this is not looking good.
Air show and films it doing backflips at low altitude. It is the military version of a sports car that spends more time in the showroom than on the track. And right now, 2 of them are flying in combat spread.
Okay, so maybe... Wait, I'm not sure if this one is that good. Maybe a show-off. But what about actually fighting?
In the showroom than on the track. And right now, 2 of them are flying in combat spread, closing on 1 American. The flight lead is a lieutenant colonel in the Russian Aerospace Forces with 14 years of fighter time and dozens of Baltic intercepts behind him. Today, he has his best wingman. Today, he has the numbers. The American is alone, and the lieutenant colonel feels excited. This is the fight every Russian pilot rehearses on simulators. 2 on 1. Flanker advantage. You split, bracket, and squeeze. The flight lead smiles. Here is what the Russian lieutenant colonel does not know. The man flying that F-15C has 4,000 hours in the Eagle. Most fighter pilots retire with 1,500. This man has 4,000 because he spent 6 years at the U.S. Air Force Weapons School as an adversary tactics instructor. His entire
I feel like we may be back here, my friends.
Job was pretending to be a Russian fighter pilot, performing their tactics every day against the best pilots America had, while those pilots tried to kill him. He is the military version of a method actor, except his stage has ejection seats. He knows the Russian 2-ship bracket better than the 2 pilots flying it right now, but none of that matters yet. Right now, he looks exactly like a man who does not know what is coming. He looks that way on purpose. The 2 flankers close to 15 miles. The lieutenant colonel gives the order. Split! His wingman breaks right. The flight lead breaks left. A pincer move designed to come at the target from 2 opposite sides at the same time. You turn to face one. The other slides slides behind you. Run, and they both chase. The American does not turn or run. The lieutenant colonel watches his wingman arc wide to the east. He arcs west. The F-15 sits in the middle, still straight, still not reacting. The lieutenant colonel frowns. He keys his radio. He is not moving, his wingman confirms. Maybe the American is not paying attention. Maybe he is texting. None of those things are true, but the thought is nice, so he keeps it. They close to 10 miles. 8-6. The lieutenant colonel feels the fight tightening around the Eagle like a fist.
Boy.
He pushes the throttle forward. At 6 miles, with both flankers locked in and speeding up, the American does something the Russians do not expect. He pulls straight up, not a turn. Straight up, nose to the sky. Full afterburner. 2 Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines, making 47,000 pounds of thrust. It goes up faster than other jets go forward. If you have ever seen a bottle rocket leave a child's hand, you have seen roughly the same energy-to-weight ratio, except this bottle rocket has a man inside it and an opinion. The lieutenant colonel sees the Eagle pitch vertical on his radar.
Wait, but can go vertical for how long? This is, fuel goes away fast.
He is going vertical. Both flankers pitch up and try to follow. The Su-30SM can do extraordinary things with thrust vectoring, but it weighs more than the F-15. Both jets are carrying drop tanks, and both pilots just burned most of their energy. They follow the Eagle upward. They slow more. The F-15 climbs like it is late for something. At 25,000 feet, the American is still picking up speed. The Russians are hanging on their engines, watching their airspeed tapes unwind like a bank account after a divorce. The lieutenant colonel's jet unwind like a bank account after a divorce. The lieutenant colonel's jet shudders. He is running out of energy. The American is not running out of anything. The F-15 rolls over the top of the climb. Smooth. Nose comes over. Wings level. The horizon rotates from above to below. Now the American is looking down at 2 Su-30SMs that are split apart, slow, and pointing in 2 different directions. The pincer just became a cage, and the Russians are inside it. The lieutenant colonel figures this out at the same moment he figures out he cannot do a thing about it. His jet is nose high, slow, and helpless. His wingman is 2 miles east in the same shape. The F-15 is above them both, fast, pointed down, choosing. The weapons school calls this the merge from advantage. The rest of the
reality check moment, in other words,
world calls it the part where you update your resume. The F-15 drops behind the flight lead first. Lock, radar lock, 6 o'clock. The tone fills the cockpit. It fills his helmet. It sits in his chest like a second heartbeat he did not ask for. He brakes left, hard, grunting against the G-forces. The lock holds. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. 3 full seconds of an American missile deciding whether to leave the rail. Then the tone stops.
Don't start World War III, please.
Lieutenant Colonel gasps, relief, for exactly 1.5 seconds. Then his wingman's voice comes screaming over the radio. He is on me! Lock! He has lock! The American...
See, my friends, this is the thing I don't know. When they lock, the other pilot knows how that works. I believe this is true, right? So if that American pilot was about to shoot that Russian pilot, the Russian pilot for a moment, even if it's 1 second, would know, right?
Picked up the wingman in under 2 seconds. The wingman brakes right. The lock holds. 3 seconds. Then it stops. Then the flight lead's receiver screams again. Back and forth. Lock, release. Lock, release. The F-15 is switching between them so fast that neither pilot can tell who is about to die first. The lieutenant colonel has trained for many things. He is not trained for the one where a single American treats him and his wingman like a light switch and cannot decide which one to turn off. Then it gets worse, because of course it does. The F-15 settles behind the wingman, with no sign that this takes effort. 1,000 feet back, The wingman turns left. The F-15 turns left. He pulls up. The Eagle pulls up. Every brake turn in the Russian manual comes out. Roll, dive, twist. The F-15 follows each one the way an owner follows his dog at a park. Relaxed enough, but still on a leash. This goes on for 45 seconds. In a cockpit where someone is glued to your tail and you cannot shake them, 45 seconds is a funeral you attend while still alive. Meanwhile, the lieutenant colonel is circling outside the fight. His wingman is being taken apart, and every second he watches, it gets worse. But he cannot re-enter. Every angle crosses the F-15's nose. Every path back puts him in front of the American's radar. He is a lieutenant colonel in the Russian aerospace forces, locked out of his own fight by one man who will not let him back inside. He circles, he watches, he grips the stick until his gloves creak. Then the F-15 releases the wingman. The tone stops. The wingman sags in his harness, breathing hard. The F-15 climbs a little, shifts position, and locks the lieutenant colonel. 3 seconds.
Oh my god. This guy could have killed both.
Brakes lock, locks the wingman. 3 seconds. Brakes lock. Back to the flight lead. He is switching his radar lock between both flankers, the way a man flips channels on a television. Both pilots are flinching on cue like dogs who have learned when the spray bottle comes out. The American is not fighting them. He is playing with them. He is treating 2 of Russia's frontline fighters like folding laundry while watching TV. The F-15 pilot keys the open frequency. 2 of you, 1 of me, and I still had to slow down. The lieutenant colonel hears this in his helmet. The F-15 holds for 5 more seconds, then a single, slow wing waggle. A wave goodbye, the kind you give a neighbor you do not respect. It turns northwest, back toward its patrol route. Same heading, same speed. Like this was the intermission, and now the real flight continues. Both Su-30SMs turn south toward Kaliningrad. Neither pilot speaks for 4 minutes. They land, they taxi, they shut down.
Back to Mother Russia.
Lieutenant Colonel climbs out of his cockpit and stands on the tarmac a moment longer than he needs to. He walks into the debrief room and sits across from his wing commander. His wing commander asks if either flanker got a firing solution at any point. The lieutenant colonel looks at the table. No, not once. Not for a single frame of HUD tape.
No.
His commander asks
Not
if
even
there was
one
more
time.
than one American. One F-15, 1 pilot. The room goes quiet. The kind of quiet where
Imagine what the F-22 can do. Imagine what the F-35 can do. And if you don't know, I released a video yesterday about the F-47, F-47. Sorry for the accent.
everyone is doing math and not liking the answer. Somewhere in the building, someone is going to write a report. That report will travel up the chain. And at every level, someone is going to read it, set it down, and stare out a window for a while. God made
This is a really bad day to be a Russian.
the sky. America decides who owns it.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of true. Look, I know a lot of these type of stories. We cannot confirm them for sure, but the reality is, I honestly think this is possible. At the end of the day, the US military is so ahead. It's actually crazy. I mean, you have a lot of real stories similar to this one. So yeah, it's actually kind of crazy what the Americans can do when it comes to war. And I think another great point here is, now talking about Russia, by the way, I'm not Russian, even though my accent sounds like a Russian. I'm Portuguese. But yeah, I want to make that clear. But specific after this video. But the thing is, if you look at the war in Ukraine, I know NATO, but even more specific, America gave a lot of weapons to Ukraine. But I was taking a look at a report, and a lot of the weapons that America gave to Ukraine are kind of like old weapons, old technology. And look at the crazy fight that Ukrainians are putting on. You know, Russia is struggling, actually. You know, of course, you can say Russia in the long run may win the war. That's fair. But for now, they are putting an amazing fight. So imagine if America was fighting direct with Russia. Of course, if we go nuclear, forget about it, bye-bye, and yeah. But, I mean, if this is a normal war, it's not even close at the end of the day, my friends. So, quite funny, this one. I really enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoy this type of content. There is similar videos to this one. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends.